Shabbat shalom. You know, I've already mentioned it, that this week has really been a tough week, I think, on all of us. And I'm thinking back to Wednesday at 5:30 with all the tumult going on. And I'm like, should I do the meditation between 5:30 and 6? Or should we just watch CNN? Or whatever, MSNBC, whatever it is we were watching. And I realized what I need now is this meditation. And it's so curious because it never fails that what is in the Torah portion of the week speaks to exactly what's happening in the world. And that night, I talked about what occurs in the Torah portion, Shemot. You know this story. Moses goes to the burning bush, right? He's been brought up in Egypt. He's been really powerful. He's been brought low, and there he is in front of this burning bush, just as a measly shepherd. And God says, you know what, Moses? You're going to be the guy that's going to save everybody. And he's like, please no, right? Which is what all of our reactions would have been. And as he's going through all of his Moses is going through all of his reasons why he shouldn't be the one to free the Israelites, he finally says at one point, he semi-agrees, and then he says, God, listen, when I go down there, they're going to ask me, what's this God's name? What's God's name? What should I tell them? And I want you to know, in chapter 3 of Exodus is the only time in the entire Torah that God says God's own name. There's lots of places where, the Yod-Heh, Vav-Heh, the Yahweh, there's Elohim, there's Tzur, there's El Shaddai, there's all these names for God in the Bible, but God says what God's name is once in this Torah portion. It's not Fred, it's not Steve, it's not even Amos, if you can believe that. It is Ehyeh Asher Ehyeh. God says, tell them, Ehyeh Asher Ehyeh sent you. Now, that's a very strange name. It means, and I'm going to use really one translation for this, because if I go through all the different translations, it might go a little long. The one translation that I like for this, that I'd like to use tonight, is I will be, Ehyeh, what I will be. Ehyeh Asher Ehyeh. I will be what I will be. And commentators have a field day with this, right? Because what does that mean, I will be what I will be? And it could be in every tense, and we could go through the 9 tenses that it could be, but let's stick with this one. Rashi says, Ehyeh Asher Ehyeh means, I will be with them in their sorrow. I mean, it's like, who of us does not feel sorrow this week? Ehyeh Asher Ehyeh. If you need God to be there for this sorrow, God will be there for you. That's what Rashi says. There are so many other translations, though. There's like, I am that I am. Call that the Popeye translation, right? But he says, I am that I am, and that's all that I am. Commentators love that one because it kind of is like God is the ultimate is, right? I exist like nothing else in the world exists. But this idea, I will be what I will be, that to me is about future. It's about history. That in so many ways, this theological statement frees us. It's like God is saying, look, I'm going to be whatever it is you think I am in the future. And it's given me personally compassion for any way that God believes, or any way people believe God exists in the world. Because if you believe God is X, God is X. Ehyeh Asher Ehyeh. I will be what I will be. If other person thinks God is Y, then God is Y. Ehyeh Asher Ehyeh. I will be what I will be. If you think that's what I am, that's what I am. I will be what the world thinks I am, is another way to look at it. But at the other end, if you don't believe in God, it works that way too. Because God will not be a part of your life. God will not be there. So if you believe God isn't there, you're right. If you believe God is there, you're right. Because Ehyeh Asher Ehyeh. I will be what I will be. Now, Maimonides doesn't like this one at all, because Maimonides said, if God didn't exist, we wouldn't exist. But if we don't exist, God would still exist. So that kind of takes away this one where you can't say, oh, I don't believe that God exists, according to Maimonides. So he wouldn't like that one very much, but I digress. For me, especially this week, and I remember saying this on Wednesday evening during our meditation, that we are also who we are. We will be who we will be based upon what we do in our lives. Every moment we are forming who we are. Ehyeh, asher ehyeh. I am this now. And then tomorrow when I do X, I'm that. And then the next day when I do Y, I'm that. And the next day I'm that. And the next I'm that. Almost like every single day we have to prove who we are to ourselves and to other people. And every action we take every day helps to prove, because ehyeh, asher ehyeh. I will be what I will be. It compels me to notice how I act. It forces me to confront my actions before I do them, because what I do actually has impact on others. Wouldn't Wednesday's actions have been different if the mob thought to themselves, these actions that I'm about to do, they will define me? Do I want to be defined by the following actions? I don't know if it would have made a difference to them or to their actions. Or if our president would just take a moment to understand what it means to act a certain way. Or if our representatives and senators had thought about this. What I do makes a difference and has an imprint. And the next thing I do defines me again. And the next thing after that defines me again. By the way, which also leaves the possibility that each day you can be renewed, or that you can come out of darkness into light, and that light will last, because ehyeh, asher ehyeh, I will be what I will be, not necessarily what I am right now. And so for us as well, amidst the darkness of this week, we don't have to sink into it. I will be what I will be. You will be what you will be. And there's a little exercise that we could say to ourselves before we go to sleep tonight, tomorrow, the next day. I will be love. I will be light. I will be truth. I will be patience. I will be goodness. And each of those wills can lead towards positive actions and try to make the world better, even if it is through one person at a time, one moment at a time, and one action at a time. You know, and it was so fascinating because on Wednesday, all I could think of was, you know, we need light and we need love. And then Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi gets up and she says, literally, quote, "Let us turn darkness into light and hatred into love." There it is. Ehyeh, asher ehyeh. If I want to be love, if I want to be light, if I put that light out in my actions and that love in my actions, that is what I am. Because ehyeh, asher ehyeh. I will be who I will be. You will be who you will be. So let's continue to move ourselves inside to be the best of ourselves, so that our actions on the outside allow that ehyeh, asher ehyeh, to be something that we can be proud of. Let's join all others, all of us, who want light and love and truth and goodness to be a part of this world, to understand that our actions matter every single day. One person, the next person, the next person, and all of us together. Nihyeh, asher nihyeh. We will be what we will be. Shabbat shalom.